What's going on, all you wild Black Bard enthusiasts? Your two favorite Christmas hooligans back here for Cinephellas. I'm Logan Myers, my good mate over there.
And I'm Peter Billingsley, and I'm happy to be back for a great Christmas with the family.
Peter, you look great, by the way, and I loved your performance, but it must have been a hairpiece.
Peter looks even better than me, and he's about 20 years older. uh,
He does. Peter Billingsley is back. His old Ralphie Parker, the iconic little kid from the early 1980s, 1983, playing this character with the pink bunny suit and the BB gun. There he is. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Peter Billingsley is back all these years later. He's had quite the career we were talking about earlier, working with Favreau, Vince Vaughn, Marvel movies. He's done a lot behind the camera, but now he's returning in this movie. He was also an elf. He had a small part, but returning in this movie is the main focal point of Ralphie Parker. This is, original film took place in 1940. This takes place in 1973, I believe. 33 years after the original film. Ralphie being the father this time around, having kids, and all revolving around, you guessed it, Christmas.
Peter Billingsley looks great for his age. This time now that they chose to make this movie was a perfect time. He's the age where he's a believable dad, and he's in tune with the whole feeling of the movie and the nostalgia behind it. This Christmas Story is a movie that they show every year, on some networks. It runs all day, 24 hours, like
TBS.
TBS, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do that, but yeah, I remember them doing it all the time. But it's a movie that every year, and the older that you get, you appreciate more and more. Both of us being dads within the past decade, you can really feel it. And that's what a sequel to A Christmas Story was going to have to have. It was going to have a lot of heart.
Fire novelist who's writing the sci-fi, series, Neptune's Oblivion. He's really trying to make it as a writer, trying to find this big job, and he's submitting all of his work, and it's getting turned down. He's going all these places in Chicago where they live in the movie, and just really striking out and kind of running out of time. He took a year off work to chase this dream to be this writer and novelist, and really striking out. And then finds out about his father passing away, the old man, passing away. They had to return back to Indiana to be with his family, and during Christmas after losing his father was very tough.
Yeah, it's weighing on him and his family. You can really see it, how bummed out he is, and how it kind of, he doesn't want it to ruin Christmas, though. He wants to keep the spirit alive. And his mom, too, mentions that, your dad wouldn't want you to be, sad over the holidays. This was the biggest time of year. The family's together. Let's, honor the memory of, dad, and really put on a great Christmas. And he really wants to do that for his young children, Mark and Julie, and then his wife, played by Erin Hayes, Sandy Parker. You know, Judging by from what we see of the family, they're very close. They are rooting for Ralphie to make it as an author. He's really, like you mentioned, doing the work, going out there, meeting all these publishers and running down the list, and can't seem to find any luck. And then, it all leads up to, hearing about his father and going back to the home where, he was in the original film, where they had the Christmas Story. And right away from this, this film being on HBO Max, the first thing that I noticed was it stays true to the film style and the way that everything looks to the original. It has that nostalgic feel. It looks like it was a movie made, 30, 40 years ago. They really did the costumes, the set pieces, and obviously going back to the original house, which, looks very much similar to the way you remember it from the original film. And it's just so amazing to see Ralphie back as this character all these years later, and like just to hear him, and you can still hear Ralphie. That's Ralphie. He's older and wiser, but it's still Ralphie. And it's cool how he starts to slowly see friends around the neighborhood and people that he remembers, from all those years ago when he was just a little kid.
Returning back to old Cleveland Street in Indiana, the old childhood home, the place he grew up in, still looks the same. But yeah, you had returning characters all from the original film. Young brother Randy, he returns, and then you have Flick and Schwartz, and then returning some old familiar bully faces show up in the movie. But really cool, it's him reuniting with these old group of friends. Some have changed, some haven't. Growing up in a small town in this place in Indiana, Schwartz, Flick, kind of doing the same old stuff. Didn't really leave town. Didn't really have any dreams. They're just kind of getting by. And then you have Ralphie returning as this big writer. They all think, and he's just really struggling internally. But him reuniting with them sets up a lot of really great and hurtful and really funny scenes in the movie.
There's a ton of heart in this movie. And like you mentioned, when he meets up with his friends, that really starts everything off and really gets the film going, rekindling and, finding out, what your friends have been up to this whole time and seeing familiar faces. It reminds me of, like when we go home, uh, around the holidays and like go out to the bar and you see all these people that you haven't seen for a while. I mean, it's been a while for me, obviously, but when I used to do that a lot back in the day, fresh out of the house and like just after college and stuff, going back home, seeing old faces and whatnot like that. But it's really cool that they got the same actors from the original movie, not only Peter Billingsley, but the other guys too. It's really cool to see them come back. Some of them haven't been in acting this whole time, but others of them have. You see some surprising faces along the way too. And you see the same kind of fun around the holidays where Ralphie takes his kids to Higbee's and he has to get all the Christmas presents in time, and it starts off this cool scene at the mall. And of course, you see the mall Santa and the elves that look very familiar, a lot like in the first movie. And there's a lot of shots in the film itself where you can see that they're going, pretty much a recreation of the same shot in the house. So like Ralphie decorating the tree and other shots, from the film that really honored the legacy of the first one. But yeah, Christmas Story Christmas has a lot of heart. It's awesome to see Ralphie again, the way he interacts with his family, the whole heaviness with his father passing, the whole, vibe of that really rings true to the film and really makes it a movie that's definitely worth watching and a very worthy sequel to A Christmas Story. They've been wanting to do this for a while. There's been some direct to DVD sequels, some TV works, but this one, really works well. And it's great to have, Ralphie back on screen. And they really honored the legacy, of the dad in the original film, Aaron McGavin. Passed away in 2006, but really there's so much heart in the film. That's what makes it work. Seeing everybody together, seeing Ralphie really try to make a great Christmas and honor his family's and his father's memory was awesome to see. And, I had a great time with A Christmas Story Christmas. It's a movie that I'm going to want to watch again and again and watch along with the original, watch them back to back. That'll be interesting, to have them both fresh in your head when you're watching them back to back and just to see the years go by and see how some things change and some things stay the same between all these guys.
Yeah, after watching this film, we watched the original one with Bodie. First time him watching it as an 8-year-old. It was awesome. You could see all the nods and throwbacks. Feel Darren McGavin a lot in the new film. He was, even though he passed away, you can still feel like a heavy presence of him in the film, which is really great as Ralphie becomes a father and kind of turns into his dad, even though they kind of bumped heads a little bit when he was younger, but he always looked up to him, as a hero and inspired him, and him embarking on this journey to be a writer and then finding out he passes away and going back and really stepping into his shoes, his father's shoes, and taking over the family and bringing back all the heart and the nostalgia and all the love you feel during the holiday season, especially during Christmas. So it had a really heartfelt, really great atmosphere, Christmas time. This is, like you said, a worthy sequel. I was really surprised how good this movie was. It really touched me in all these different ways, and the holiday feels. It was really good, really well done film. Great acting across the board. Great to see Peter Billingsley returning in this role. Maybe down the road they'll put out another film. I'd be all for that. But really impressed with this. I love the story. I love what they did with it, and then ending up the film with the writing of My Old Man. Really interesting, but I had a great time with A Christmas Story Christmas on HBO Max. Pleasant surprise, a really great way to start off the holiday season, going right into Christmas. And I'm going to continue watching Christmas movies like this. But so that being said, I'll give this film a 4 out of 5 Peter Billingsley hair pieces.
This movie had a lot of heart. It's a labor of love to the original film. Everybody involved in it, you can really see that they wanted to, honor the film and make a worthy sequel, and they really did that. And Peter Billingsley and everybody else involved in the film should be proud of themselves for making a great sequel. It's not only good, it's great. And HBO Max has a winner here, the perfect movie to kick off the holiday season. and a movie that I'm going to revisit again, probably with, before Christmas. I'm going to watch it with the original for sure. So with that being said, I loved A Christmas Story Christmas, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Farkas hair pieces.
So we're interested in hearing your guys' thoughts on A Christmas Story Christmas. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite scene from the original film? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to click subscribe. Also, check out these holiday enthusiasts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Would try.
Woo! So we had a blast watching A Christmas Story Christmas. We think you guys will really enjoy it too. Make sure to watch it this Christmas season with your family. It's a great family movie. Awesome to see Ralphie all grown up, and he still looks great. Still has the same haircut and the same glasses, and still the same old Ralphie. But a great sequel. I'd love to see another one. That'd be cool to fast forward another 20 years when he's a grandpa and continue the tradition. Why not? At this point, if they treat it the same and honor the legacy of the original, they'll have another winner. But thank you guys so much for watching our review of A Christmas Story Christmas. Until the next time, live from the North Pole, I'm Uncle Harry.
And I'm Uncle Scott Farkas, signing out until the next Christmas movie review. Cheers!
Cheers!